say the title is "Say Yes to Life." I'm like, no, don't make me do that. Don't make me go after that. That was gorgeous, so beautiful. Thank you. Everything was so nice. I love the poems. The meditation was beautiful. Man, interfaith, huh? How blessed are we? I got up. Yesterday. For my wife's birthday, we met up with two good friends of ours to have some dinner, and we had a lovely time together and had some lovely dessert along with that. And my body did not want to say yes to life this morning. I don't do a lot of sugar these days because it just is not working for me. It feels like poison going in my body kind of thing, you know. And so any case, so I'm getting up, I'm noticing my stomach just feels off, and I'm noticing my heart, AFib's kicking in, so I've got this offbeat heart. I can feel it in the background right now, and I had to cue in Craig and Layla just in case I need a chair to get through this. So, you know, life happens. I mean, our choice is, do we say yes to it, or do we fight against it and say no against it? I just don't find no works for me anymore. It just doesn't work for me anymore. I think one of the biggest things for me in saying yes to life is really being clear that this is my reality. And I feel I created just like you're creating your own reality. And there really is only one choice, either yes or no. Two choices, yes or no. And for me, it doesn't feel like two choices. Like, why would I want to say no? Because life has presented something, and why in the world would I want to fight against it and create suffering? I don't. I don't want to. So I want to talk about, first of all, just one big factor is taking responsibility for our reality. Taking responsibility is such a huge thing. You know, and it doesn't mean by taking responsibility, it doesn't mean that we don't have frustration or anger or disappointment. But what it does mean is that you take responsibility for those as well. That you own your pain, that you own it. And when you own it, there's a way out. If you own it, there's a way out. If you don't own it and you make someone else or something else the problem, it feels like there's no way out. That's what it feels like. And so I was part of a men's group for almost 18 years where we met once a month. And we would listen to, there was usually 4 or 5 of us in the group. We would listen to each other and hold the space. And then if they wanted feedback, we would offer feedback. And a lot of times I'm like, I'm hearing the stories. I'm like, you got to take responsibility for that. That's the only way you're going to get out of this situation. Because as long as you're making this person, this thing, the problem, then you are a victim to when that person or that thing changes. And it might never change. I was having this awareness, I don't know, within the last month or so, that I've got plenty of issues when I'm in my ego self, when I'm in my personal self. There's not a lack of issues to be dealt with, you know. There's plenty of growth opportunities if I want to take that approach. And I realized the more I just take a moment and I just come home and I'm in my heart, I'm in the moment, I'm just following my breath. Everything that seems like a problem all of a sudden disappears. It just disappears, because if it doesn't disappear, then I'm not in the present moment. I'm still caught in time in some way. I'm caught in either the past, of something I'm lamenting over, or I'm caught in the future of something I'm worrying about. But I'm caught in time. You can talk about, there's lots of different ways that say the same thing about why we have problems in the world. I've heard it said that, you know, all your problems are because you are separated from God. You know, the sages say that you can go on a search for yourself and you can find God, or you can go on a search for God and you will find yourself. So what's also you can say is all your problems are simply because of your mind, meaning your thoughts and your feelings that you are believing to be true. Nothing new. I probably said it here 100 times, maybe more. But we can get caught in all these things. But my awareness was, I thought, how close am I to really recognizing that truth that I already am? Because I've had that recognition a couple times and it's faded away. And of course, when we have this experience that's profound to us, we start grasping to get that experience back. But what we have to do is just let it go and give it time, give it space. When it shows up, it shows up. If we have an attachment to be otherwise, we're going to go into suffering again. So there's lots of ways you can look at it. It's really all the same thing. But my awareness was, and I'll pose this question to you. Who is closer to recognizing the truth of who they are? The person with very little issues or the person with many issues? Actually, you can't answer to either one of those. Because it could be the person that has very few issues has this urge to discover the truth of who they are. And in that urge, that commitment, that dedication, the universe will back you on that. No matter where you're at, no matter how few or how many issues you have, the universe will back you. I was watching a video on Eckhart Tolle, and somebody in the audience said to him, he said, "Hey, look, I was a soldier in the war, and I've killed a lot of people. Is it still possible for me to wake up to who I am?" And he said, "It's more possible with you, maybe than others, because you've got all this pain that is an inspiration. If you use it as a tool to say, I want to come home. I want to discover that very truth of who I am." So I'm telling you right now, my discovery was, it doesn't matter how many so-called issues your personal self has. It doesn't matter. You could have one issue, you can have a million issues, but if you have the wherewithal to just step back, take a breath, just take a breath, and you come back to the moment, all of a sudden, again, there are no issues. It's like you've pushed a reset button and everything is anew, right? This is the opportunity we have. This is what the awakening that's going on in humanity right now is about. It's about discovering that we are not our thoughts, and it doesn't matter how many thoughts we have, as long as we do not believe them, you can experience the kingdom of God is at hand. You can experience liberation, salvation, whatever you want to call it, if you're willing to stop believing all the craziness of the mind. I love the mind. The mind is a beautiful, beautiful tool, but not when it's ruling the roost. It's not so good. And it causes so many problems. I mean, you think about how much we say, I'm beating myself up, or I'm beating this person up, because we're so identified that that's the truth, that we're coming from this place, identifying that these thoughts and these feelings and these beliefs are the truth. Are they? Because I'm suggesting all this stuff going on right now in our country, for sure, really throughout the whole world, because there's an awakening going on and there's all this contrast all along. But I can assure you that all these so-called thoughts that are causing the problems are coming from the same source, from you and you and you and you, as it is in the Republicans or whatever your nemesis is. Their thoughts are coming from the same place. It's consciousness feeding us these thoughts out of grace, out of sheer grace, because God, life is saying, look, you are not in alignment with the truth of who you are. I am simply presenting this for you to see this is not the truth of who you are. That's how you say yes to life. So, you know, when I a lot of times when I do talks, Spirit seems to give me the lessons just to make sure I've got the talk right. So, I have my stomach, my body's off this morning. I got AFib going. I'm like, okay, yeah, yes to life, And it's like, And so, any case, but it's okay. It's okay, first of all, that we have those thoughts and feelings. Just don't give in to them. Don't buy into that nonsense. It really is nonsense. It is all an illusion that we're caught in this dream. There was if any of you read the book by Dan Millman, Way of the Peaceful Warrior, there's the verse in there that says, am I a man dreaming I'm a butterfly, or am I a butterfly dreaming I'm a man? We wake up at night from our dream state, and we wake up and we say, oh, okay, now I'm back to reality. Because this seems so much more real than our sleep state. But is there something that is even more real? Is it possible we're still caught in a dream, and that dream is believing that we are this person called Brett, or whatever your assigned name you were given, and all the assigned beliefs that you were given, that you're good at this, not good at that, you should be kinder, you should be this, they shouldn't be that. The mind has all these things to say about the world. We are never going to experience the peace and truth of who we are, in my opinion, by waiting for the right president, by waiting for the right culture, by waiting for, economic justice or social justice. Pick whatever topic you want. The situation is never, ever the problem. It's our reaction to it. That's all. I was listening this morning, actually when I was driving to work this morning. I love driving. And, my wife, in fairness, was a little concerned because I had AFib going on. And sometimes when my AFib kicks in, it's a little worse. I'm like, I need to sit down because I feel a little bit nauseous, It's happened many times, and I've gotten a lot of guidance with it, so I trust that everything's where it needs to be. And I trust also that I can say yes to this. And as I was driving here to Interfaith, I love driving, and my wife's like, I'm a little concerned with you driving with AFib. And I said, I'm most relaxed actually when I'm driving, because it's like my body's busy driving, my mind is busy paying attention, and I let them be busy, and it gives me a chance just to be with God, be with the truth of who I am. And so as I was being in that space, I just started saying, my mantra sometimes is just, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the sunshine. Thank you for Interfaith. Thank you for all the beauty that's around. Thank you for the food and the family that I have. Thank you for the AFib. Thank you. Thank you for my stomach that is telling me, please don't eat sugar. It's not in your best interest. We are given so many gifts, and we turn them away because we think, maybe we're getting picked on, or life isn't going the way our mind wants it to go. Life is going exactly the way it's supposed to, exactly. And when you get in that space, just to truly say thank you, and you feel that in your heart, people around you feel that. You watch how the room changes when you walk into it and you have a grateful heart. All of a sudden, everybody feels better. That's the reality that you create. That's the reality that is always possible. It's right here, right now. And I share with you honestly and sincerely, you don't have to keep waiting for something to happen in order to be that right now in this moment. You are that. Every single thing you've been looking for, love, peace, joy, truth, stillness, wisdom, God, it's all right here, right now in this moment. It's never left you. I had a moment a while ago that I said to God, I please help me to connect with you. Help me to be aware of you. Help me to, just be with you. And I was praying that all the time, and there was a day that came where I couldn't feel God's love at all. Like something had happened. It's like, what just happened? And I felt the pain of being without feeling God's presence in my life. But where does God go? Is God not everything? You know, how far do you have to travel to get to God? Do you have to, go to India or climb a mountaintop? Or is God even an inch away? No, God is everything, everyone. You cannot escape God, but God gave me the gift of stepping away from my life so I could see what it felt like. God has always been here. And I've heard it said, maybe you've heard the analogy before, it's like a fish looking for water. It's all around you. It's all around you, but maybe the fish needs to jump out of the water just to experience that he's not in the water, to see, I've been there the whole time. God has never left you. It's not possible. God has never abandoned you. It's not possible. The more you recognize just the beauty and the truth of who you are. I don't mean this contrived beauty like trying to convince yourself you're beautiful. I mean letting go of all the stories that you've carried that are blocking you, that are veiling you from seeing and experiencing and being this truth right now in this moment. Right here, right now. You don't have to wait for your body to be a certain way. I got AFib. Okay, I'm not waiting. I want and I choose God right now. I'm not waiting for my business to get busier and money to come in. Well, I don't want to wait anymore. And so the invitation is to you to stop waiting. Stop waiting for the conditions to be just right in our political thing. Stop waiting for, this to happen or that to happen, or, and the other thing is, and it's okay to seek. It's okay to seek, but there's a time when you have to drop the seeking, because who is seeking? Who is doing the seeking? Is it you, or is it your person that says, I don't like this experience? I'm suggesting that it's your ego self, your personal self, that is doing the seeking, because the pure isness of who you are is already awakened. So sometimes the trap is, and it's beautiful that people seek. I did it for a lot of my life, and it's taken me here, and I'm grateful for it. And maybe you feel like, no, I'm not done with that. But when you feel like you're ready to say, I'm not looking to the future anymore, which is what seeking is, meaning that what you are looking for is not right here in this moment, but it is. But if you believe that it's not here and you're doing the seeking, then it's always going to be a future moment rather than the present moment right here, right now. I can only leave you to say yes to life really means that you accept the totality of who you are. It means that you accept all the crazy thoughts, all the crazy feelings, no matter what they are. It means that you are accepting it and having trust and faith that is taking you exactly where you need to go. And it is. Thank you so much.